Hi, it's Mr. Rowe. Today I'm going to try and explain what all this insanity is all about. But you'll understand in the end why my company's called Creative Build.
So I have these large laser cut signs
By CQM in
and
Elmer, Ontario.
there's two halves
Shout out to
that
you
are
guys!
stamped together, so there's a sign facing each way.
So just to try to make this a little bit clearer, this is the sign facing out the front window. Those are the legs that go up to the ceiling that need to be brass. And this is with the inner sign facing inside complete. And just in case you're wondering, the name of the place is Two Cats Cannabis.
And what they want to have is some posts that run floor to ceiling. Here and
Yeah, I
here,
just finished explaining it there.
that are these 1-inch pipes, and they want them to look like brass. So again, I have my mag drill on the same plate that I used before in my other video when I was using it as a lathe, and it's going to drive with this little adapter here a
Quality.
1-inch pipe through this bearing block
Quality.
into the propane forge, and I'm going to rotate it while heating it in an attempt to give it the heat brass plating. So this is just a bunch of Unistrut. I love Unistrut. It's like adult Meccano.
But
Anyway, you can,
Mr. Rowe, why don't you go and
many different ways.
get that brass plated
It's just a cart that I
in
use,
like a 20-foot
I've
long
used them for
brass plating
wheeling,
tank,
like bundles of
which
steel, etc.
nobody really has?
And the power is on this big swinging arm, so this guy can move in and out as I need to heat it.
But Mr.
While
Rowe,
rotating.
why don't you make it out of solid brass
So
bar?
these legs of the sign are also going to hide the wiring, and that's one of the reasons why this can't be solid brass bar like I did with the Picker security cage.
This security cage.
So this end is going to be at the ceiling with a flange to mount it to the ceiling. It's about 16 feet high. The low voltage wiring is going to enter the pipe and go down in the pipe and exit the pipe inside the sign frame to power the LED lighting inside the light sign.
So clear.
So this section here, so I only need to go to here with the brass plating because that's all that's exposed. The rest is inside the sign. Hope that makes sense.
So I decided I was going to do a quick little test before I did it on the real thing, just to basically to gauge how hot I need to have the pipe, what color it should be before I start, how much it needs to cool down, etc., and how easily it's going to go on. And I was pretty pleased. So I got some feedback on my previous brass plating video with people getting the impression this is very labor intensive. I checked the length of this test and it was 9 minutes. This is the solid brass wire cup brush that I've been using for several projects now, and it's got tons of life left in it. So pretty.
This technique is actually the reason I made this forge, and that's why I made it with doors on the front and the back, so long items
Crazy
can
long.
protrude through them, because I was doing a project making these little cocktail tables.
Who hasn't?
And I made one. I welded the entire frame up and then attempted the heat brass treatment on it, and it was very difficult. So then what I realized would be easier to do is brass plate all of the steel bar stock first, then weld it together, and then just touch up where the welds were. And it was way easier and faster. So a lot of you guys are probably here because you make knives or do that type of blacksmithing or want to play with that stuff. I've never actually made a knife. This is the reason why I made it, to do heat brass plating. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is fire it up, and we'll get this pipe heated up. It can't be too hot, and it can't be too cold. It's the Goldilocks zone of heat plating.
That coupler you made is perfectly balanced. I'm just working the pipe in and out of the forge, trying to get uniform heat over the entire length of the area that I need to put the brass on. I'm waiting for that perfect moment where the temperature is just right for the brass to take. Kind of little test spots here, trying to find the spot between the forge and me of where the right temperature is. So, not surprisingly, the walnut block that the pipe is spinning is starting to make a horrible noise. So because I've heated the pipe up the entire length of where I need to do the treatment, I'm just kind of feeling, because there's a drag that you can feel as the brass starts to take to the mild steel pipe.
Pretty cool. You can do like candy cane stripes on it. We had this on like a dry, like a lawn of hay.
This is a little bit of a mix because I filmed putting the brass on both pipes for the sign. And you can see it's just like a certain moment. It's really hard to describe when the brass wants to take. And then you can add, if you're careful, without burning off the layer you've already put on, you can add some more. So after heating up the length of the pipe that I needed, the last part I'm going to do, as you can see here, is the part that came out of the forge last. You can see here there's like a moment it's actually hard to hang on to as the brass is being applied to the mild steel.
So there we go. It's a little muddled in spots, but it's not too bad. It's going to get a little bit of a Scotch-Brite job, and you won't even be able to tell the difference between it and a solid brass bar. So here's a solid brass bar beside the pipe that I just did. And you can barely tell the difference. Oh, wait a minute. Is that the pipe? Or is that the pipe? That's the pipe.
Here's a pic of the sign with just the half of the sign that faces outside of this cannabis shop. You can see the pipes there. And here we've installed the inside face, and the little kitties don't have their eyes on it yet. And since you're still here and it's been in all the pictures, I'm making the reed glass dividing wall that you see on top of the cabinets in all of the pictures. Rolling some flat bar to create the openings for it's kind of a factory steel looking frame. So there's a sign off to the left. You can see the pipes go off up to the ceiling there. It's quite a beautiful place, truly stunning. Many disciplines required to do all of these various things within the shop. I could do an entire YouTube channel just on everything we did in this place. So thanks for watching. Maybe I'll do one on the doors on those cabinets, because that was pretty tricky. Thanks for watching.